Okay, unpopular opinion coming at you. I feel like the birth and pregnancy culture is lopsided. We spend a lot of time doing things like gender reveals and baby showers and buying a lot of products for babies. And there's a lot of marketing and commercializing pregnancy to get people to buy this thing, buy that thing, buy this baby bag, buy that stroller. And I'm not trying to demonize these things, but I feel like we have a focus on things about birth and pregnancy, such as like having baby showers. And then there's a lack of focus on the other side when it comes to actually preparing yourself for the birth of your child. And it is the standard. It is the standard for someone who is pregnant to have a baby shower. It is not the standard for someone who is pregnant to do a decent amount of research or a decent amount of studying about birth. People's probably, I would say, on average, spend more time planning for a baby shower, planning for a gender reveal, doing pregnancy vlogs and shopping and all these other things than they do actually preparing for their birth. Again, I'm not trying to demonize this and I'm not trying to make people feel bad, but I think there's a link that we have to look at between how we spend the time in our pregnancy and how our birth goes. Now, I will say, part of the reasons why I think birth outcomes are poor and people have a lot of negative birth experiences, it has to do with the system. The system is definitely failing birthing people in a lot of ways. But with that being said, because we know that this system is hurting and failing people in some instances, then we need to prepare ourselves. We need to do more research. We need to look into what birthing place should I choose? What type of provider should I choose? And I feel as though culturally we have raised up the standard of certain things to do in pregnancy for celebration reasons, which is valid, but we've at the same time simultaneously lowered the accountability for people to be aware and mindful and prepared for their birth experience. Again, unfortunately, a lot of this has to do with the system. We're working with a system that in a lot of different ways is broken. A lot of women that I talk to, they don't understand the basic concept that birth is not a medical emergency. Therefore, question the reason that you're going to the hospital. Question the reason that we have been conditioned to believe that we should be going to the hospital. Ask yourself, there are two types of people at hospitals. People who are sick and people who are dying. Those are the main people you will find at a hospital. Of course, you have things like trauma and people who, they need care from being in a car accident or something like that. But the hospital is mainly filled with people who are ill. Why have we decided that this is the optimal place to welcome in new life? These are the types of questions that we have to start asking ourselves. And I don't think that we need to stop celebrating, having gender reveals, having baby showers, buying all the things, celebrating all the things. I think that's beautiful and there's a place for that. And it really affirms the positivity of having a child. And I believe that psychologically is good for us. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of birthing people get blindsided because we spend all of the pregnancy focused on baby shower planning and gender reveal planning and pregnancy updates on my YouTube channel. And we completely forget that we actually have to prepare ourselves for birth. One of the mantras that I tell my clients is that birth is the culmination of pregnancy. So the things that you did, the thoughts that you had in your brain, the emotions you have in your body, all of those things culminate when you are in birth. And whatever is in you, it comes up and out because you're opening up. And so It's the beginning of midwifery week. I decided to do a short little video, and I just want to encourage anyone who is watching this who is pregnant, or even if you're just in the trying to conceive stage, start learning about birth. Don't assume that the best place for you to have your baby and the best experience you're gonna have is in the hospital. Here's why. Many of the practices that are happening in the hospital are not evidence-based. I'm sorry to break it to y'all, but a lot of the things that people are being taught in school and carrying over to their medical provider practice is not based in evidence. It's based in routine, protocol, culture, dogma, if you will. And I don't want to give permission for people to feel like they should not trust their medical providers, or they should not trust the medical facilities that they go to. What I'm asking you to do is to question. Question why you're going there. Question why these things are happening. This is slightly related, but not related at the same time. I'm getting so frustrated with seeing these birth photographer pages, and a lot of birth photographers do hospital births, because that's like 90% of people birth in a hospital. And it's so frustrating because I keep seeing these pictures and videos of women birthing on their backs in the lithotomy position, and I'm scratching my head like, it is almost 2020. Why am I seeing all these people birth on their backs? I cannot fathom that any pregnant person in labor is asking to be put on their back during the pushing stage. I cannot fathom that they are requesting that. So then why are we still using this position? And I've been at births where I have said to medical providers, can she get up while she's pushing so she can have gravity working with her rather than against her? And also because, I don't say this part, but also because basic anatomy tells us when you lay on your back, the pelvic outlet is narrow. And I've been at births where I request someone to sit up because they say that they want to sit up. And you know what I've been told? That's not how, our doctor likes to birth or deliver. So I'm going to end this rant by saying I would love to see balance between the celebration and the fun and the external and the internal of like, let me step back away from posting all the pictures of my bump and doing all of the external things, and let me do some internal work and really ask myself some serious questions about what my birth experience what I want my birth experience to look like. And again, some people don't care. Some people are really like, I just want the baby to get out, that's it. And even if you fall into that category, even if you're like, I just want my baby to be out, consider the fact that just because you're in a hospital doesn't mean that everything that is going to be done is going to be safe or backed by evidence or backed by research. Consider the fact that there are other places to birth your baby that are just as safe as the hospital. Now, I know I've thrown out a lot of controversial things, a lot of unpopular things, and I'm more than willing to dialogue with you guys down in the comments. I just ask you to keep it respectful, keep it peaceful, and keep it purposeful. I'm not going to talk to people who don't have a real purpose in dialoguing with me, because ultimately I want to see the state of birth become better. I want to see birthing people have experiences that actually affirm them and make them feel good and don't traumatize them and deplete them. And I think that would be a good step for us as a society to go in. All right, y'all, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.